have Reverend Father Albert Ofere in the house. You know, I get confused now. I don't know. I don't know whether I should be shooting questions at the Reverend Father or the music artist.
They're both the same, so yeah.
One and the same.
Yeah.
So I'm free to go.
Yeah.
And my sins will be forgiven when I ask those questions.
If that's too much, I'll give you a serious penalty.
Okay, reel out the penalties. What would they be? So I know how to go.
No, let me see. Let me hear the questions first.
You know, for me, I've always felt that Reverend Fathers are like confined to what they're called for.
Yeah.
And then for you to deviate.
Okay.
What has informed that?
Anyway, first, as a priest, you sing. You know, if you're a Catholic, or viewers who are listening or watching, if you're a Catholic, go to Catholic church. You know, priests they sing a lot, don't they? The Lord be with you. Like singing, isn't it?
In church.
Yeah, in church. So, personally, I love singing a lot. I listen to good music and I sing a lot. You know, where I pastor in London, most of my parishioners know me to be. I love singing. You know. So some of them once met me and said, "Father, why don't create an album, you know, so that we have something to keep, you know, when you're not there." So I decided to write to write my music, you know, and I came up with this. How it came up, I must say, is inspirational, very inspirational. I didn't plan anything; it just came, and as it is, a lot of people are really falling in love with the music, you know. So it's not really deviation; it's just being a priest.
In a singing way.
Yeah. preaching through music.
Okay. Expelling the gospel through music.
Exactly.
Okay, so we'll safely say your music is gospel.
Sure.
And you have no plans to go secular?
Oh, no. I'm a priest forever. A priest like Melchizedek of old. So this is just extracurricular, and it's even helping me a lot, you know. Like the first track on the album, it says, "God dey my side." Now from worry. So the speech in English there, God dey my side. And Romans 8:31 says, if God be for us, who can be against us? So I'm already preaching there. You know, if you are very much aware that God is on your side, you are good to go. You understand? And if you listen to it in the morning, for instance, you just woke up and dance, God in my side. You know, you're ready to launch yourself into the day. It says it's a prayer, it's a preaching, everything. So it's not really outside the priesthood. I'm doing my work through music.
Would you call yourself a professional musician?
I will call myself Father Albert.
A what?
I will call myself Father Albert, not professional musician. But what makes somebody professional, if not for the fact that people will accept what you sang, you know, or whatever your music is. And as it is, you know, when I brought the music out, you know, I was just play. I said, "Come listen." And a lot of people say, "Wow, what is this? What is this?" So I think that makes it a bit special that people are falling in love with the music. And in fact, somebody called me up yesterday, phoned me up yesterday and said, "Father, your music is ministering to me." You know, that's just my satisfaction. So I don't need to be professional to make music touching to people. Once the music is touching to people, that's okay for me. I don't need to be a professional.
Okay, so let's hold that thought for a moment as we bring the viewers God Dey My Side, courtesy of Father Albert Ofere. Saturday night, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Don't stop the praises. Make we dance, oh. Don't stop the praises. Hallelujah. In the wilderness showed himself as a Lord. Cana he turned water into wine. Seaside he calmed the storm and the wind. He gave all the 5,000 food to eat. That's God powerful, mighty work. That's God powerful, mighty hand. Dance, God in my side, oh. I know go shake me, I know go send. Make we dance, oh. God in my side, oh. I know go shake me, I know go send. Hallelujah. Dance, God in my side, oh. I know go shake me, I know go send. Dance, God in my side, oh. I know go shake me, I know
God is wonderful.
That was God Dey My Side by Father Albert Ofere.
Yep.
You know, listening, just watching that clip, I said to myself, I couldn't even tell the difference between the secular music we're used to seeing and this gospel-oriented
Yes.
sound.
Yes.
I couldn't tell the difference. How come?
You know what? Yeah. This world, our world today, is so very secularistic. You know, secularism as it is at its apex. Now, if you really want to touch people, you want to meet people where they are, you use what they like to get to where they are, isn't it? For instance, the music, it says God Dey My Side, you know. So my friends who are not really Christians, I mean, back in London, but they don't have anything to do with God. When I played the music for them, they started dancing immediately, dancing to the tune, you know. So I now said, have you listened to the lyrics that you're dancing to? I said, no, I don't care. I just like the beats, you know. Then later, one said, wait a minute. And I said, God Dey My Side. But what do you mean by day? What's that? And I explained, I said, God Dey My Side means God is with you. So, but I don't do God, but I like the music. You understand? You can see that this man does not do God, you know, but he likes the music. And he's beginning to like not just the music, but like the God in the music. You understand? So, in a way, he's just trying to, in a secularistic world, meeting people where they are, you know, so using what they like to talk to them and bring them into God.
Okay, let's come up with a scenario where you have mud, you have a white cloth. You want to get to the mud and you walk into the mud.
Yeah.
You would never be white.
No, but you can clean up the mud.
The fact that you're coming out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
which is a white cloth here,
Yeah.
and getting into that, for want of a better word, mud.
Yeah.
How do you balance this thing?
Okay, for those of you, or you, if you know our new Holy Father, Pope Francis, he will say, priests should roll up the sleeve, come out of their comfort zones, and go into the world and bring people back to God. You know, so as a priest, we ought to leave our comfort zone, leave the white, go into the mud, bring people out of the mud into the white. So, in a way, evangelization does not restrict one to church. Are you with me? You're supposed to move out, and moving out is a bit risky. You know, you need to go out, go fish. Go fish. No, we should not be keepers of men, but fishers of men. And if you want to fish men, you have to launch into the deep. And where's the deep? In the world.
You know, sometimes you go to some churches, and what you see, in fact, you can't tell between a disco house and a church.
Yes.
Isn't that worrisome to this Christendom we'll talk about?
It's worrisome. Now, when you take it to the extreme, there's a problem. Like, as Catholics, as a Catholic priest, and viewers who are Catholics, you know, in Catholic Church, there are moods and there are tempos, you know. There's a time that everybody's very solemn. Are you with me? There's a time that you speak out, like the responsorial psalm. There's a time that we pray, respond. And there's a time that is dancing, when it's time for Thanksgiving. After communion, there's time for Thanksgiving, you know, and people dance to the altar with their goods, or with their gifts, you know. So you can see their moods. So you don't just make the whole service. I'm not talking about just Catholic Church now. If you make the whole service just dance, there's a problem, you know. But when you know when to use what you need to use, it becomes something tenable.
I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
Teach me more.
Yeah, it's just a fact, because we can say in church from the beginning to the end should be dancing, you know, and the kind of dance in church should be different from dance in outside the church. Like, if you take note of the video, if you watch the video well, if you watch those who were dancing in the church, their dancing was quite different from when they were on the train, on the tube, you know.
And you were promoting that one on the train as well. I mean,
yeah, a kind of saying, okay, you can do this, you are still children of God, but please come to church. And when they came to church, you see everything changed. Are you with me? Gradually, they become Christians. You see, the whole story behind that video is me taking the gospel into the tube, secular world, and bringing the secular people into the church. Now, what they did in the train was quite different from what they did in church. So you can see the transformation, you know, from giddy, giddy, giddy to, you know, so that's the gospel, isn't it? Yeah.
So now, for you, this is your first album?
It is.
The first album?
Yeah.
When did you reel it out? How long ago?
January.
January?
Yep.
2016?
Yes.
Wow. So for how long did it take you to come up with it?
It took a while though. I could say precisely like 4 months. Yes.
Did you engage those buy your copy now?
No, you know, I did it in London.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it in London. And my work in London is very tedious, very engaging, you know. So I had to really try to get time to do this, you know. My day off, you know, there's some days that nothing was happening. I had to go do it. It was really tedious, you know. But rightly so, God did my side, because the way it came out is so surprising. Even for the producers, the guys working in the studio, they were a bit shocked. Father, this is so wonderful. It's your first time in studio, and you can, I mean, cope with the stress like this. It means you have a future. It's going to be nice, you know.
And it's not going to deviate you from your primary calling.
As I said, I'm a priest forever, you know, and a priest like Melchizedek of old, it cannot deviate me. It's just an extracurricular activity, and it's only to add to make my priestly work more interesting. It is not going to distract. Instead, it's going to add. Are you with me? Like some of my white friends, they're already coming to my church. You know, my classmates, guys I school to, my classmates already come to my church because they want to see, oh, if this can take place, let's go and see in church, you know. And in my church, they come all the time now. Not baptized yet, but hopefully, yeah.
Okay, so how many tracks do we have here?
We have 6.
6 tracks. So which is your favorite?
All of them.
Why did you laugh?
All of them. Just like asking the parent who is your favorite child.
But would you be very surprised that some parents actually have their favorites, but they would never talk about it?
No, I wouldn't want to behave like Jacob now. No, all of them are my favorite.
Can I guess your favorite?
Yes, please guess.
God in my sight.
You'll be so shocked. You'll be so shocked that might be the second one that piqued my interest more. But all of them, because they had different moods.
You just said it. Your second one, the second one piqued your interest the most.
More than the first one. People think that is my best, but actually, it was a friend, Obi Meloye, a film producer. Okay. I really picked out that. You know, Father, this one was good for a video. You know, but if you listen to the whole album, all the songs, they have different moods. Some for worship, you know, like we're talking about God in my side. Is so, if you listen to some others, you know, worship songs, you know, that can put you in the real mood of connecting with your God. Yeah. As a true Nigerian, I sang the last one with Urobo, mixed with Igbo and Yoruba together. If you listen to it, we connect you straight. We take you to God.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So this is your first.
Yes.
You have plans to come up with others?
God willing, time permitting. Yeah, why not? If not, yeah.
So are you based here, or you?
No.
You talked about being in London.
Yeah.
Is that where you are?
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
So what brings you here?
Okay. About 9 years ago, I was sent on mission to London by the Bishops' Conference of Nigeria to go create or establish what they call Nigerian Catholic chaplains in England and Wales, to take off the Nigerian Catholics over there, you know, so that they can feel at home, because the worship over there, the English worship is a bit different, if you know what I mean. I mean, essentially it's the same, but you know, so the bishops, they actually spoke to the Bishops' Conference here that we need a priest to help us come create a community here, a chaplaincy here, to attend to Nigerians in a very sensitive cultural way, so that they can feel at home even here in England. So I was sent down. So I've been doing that for about 9 years now. So just January this year, I quit the position. That is, I moved on. Somebody else has taken over. Father Innocent, my assistant, has taken over. So now I want to do some studies, then come back to Nigeria, because I'm from Nigeria. I'm ordained for Warri Diocese, you know. Yeah, so I'll come back. Like the next 3 or 4 years, I should be back. Yeah.
Okay, so what are your plans, you know, to circulate this this album? I
don't really have much plans. As I said, this music is just inspiration. I came like that. So what I'm just doing now, some friends have helped me actually. Some helped me to put it on iTunes. So it's on iTunes already. It's on CD Baby, it's on Amazon. Some friends are helping me to put it some other platforms, you know.
So what do you do with the proceed?
Good question. As a priest, your life is charity, isn't it? You know, this morning, yesterday morning after celebrating Mass, and a long queue of people waiting, some prayers, some spiritual requests, some material requests, isn't it? So you cannot meet those material requests empty-handed. This kind of process can help to meet people where they are and meet charities, help charities who are involved in helping people. Yeah, so that's what the process will go for.
You have a professional voice. Would you say you have a professional voice?
I can't really do distinguish, distinct my voice from the way I sing now, the way I talk now, from the way I sing. I can start singing as almost the same thing, yeah.
So, would you adjudge yourself as a professional?
I would judge myself again as a priest.
As a priest?
Yeah. What I could say is, you know, after celebrating Mass, you know, back in London when you celebrate Mass, after the Mass, you stand at the door of the church and you greet everybody, and you see, like, 69% of people will tell you, "Oh, Father Albert, oh, I love that. Oh, I love your voice." Or you know. So, I can't. That's not a professional, but I was just being a priest, and I sang and I prayed, and that is it. Sometimes I do worship, adoration, exposition, benediction, and parishioners will come. "Oh, this is wonderful." You know, I've not been professional. I've just been a priest. So, that voice is not different from this voice. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'll ask you this question because by all standard now you're a musician.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back home to the Nigerian music.
Okay.
What's your impression of the Nigerian music scene? Industry?
I don't really, to be honest, I don't know much.
You can isolate yourself, you know that.
Yeah, I can. Well, listening to some musicians, they are really doing well, you know. In fact, I met a musician who told me, "Father Albert, you know, the little thing we can do to that, your God in my side, and you'll be surprised what you're going to hear." I said, you do it. So I went to the studio, and the beats I heard are so wonderful. And somebody has told me in London before that the Afro beats in Nigeria are quite different from Afro beats in London. I say, how? Why? What's the difference? You know? But after listening to that friend in the studio, I could agree to what I was told, you know. But I must say that the music in Nigeria is wonderful. It's wonderful. I remember in London, watching telly, a man was speaking about Afrobeats Association, you know, and they think that the musicians in Nigerians will help to build it because they want to make sure that Afrobeats rule the world back to United States or in Europe. So yeah.
So would you say the music here promotes morality or immorality?
It depends. It depends on the music you're talking about. Like
secular music.
After listening to somebody like Frank Edwards, I love his song so much, you know. That inspires. Secular music, talking about those I see on television, of course there's so much immorality to see. In fact, we're in a house. I went to visit the family, and a priest friend of mine was telling me that if I were the father in this house, I would not allow my children to see this. And that was a Nigerian musical video playing, you know. But thank God, children were not there, just we that were there. So I asked him why. He said, just look up, because I was not really paying attention, I was on my phone. So I look at, okay, I could see where you're coming from. So, judge on your question, fair enough, yeah. Because in most cases, it's also women, naked women, girls, ladies, and I asked, why is it like that? Some will say, if you don't have naked ladies, the music will not sell. But I don't believe that. There are some musicians who sing and have good videos, no naked ladies, and they're doing well. Yeah.
And so what's your own solution to this?
I don't know if there's any governing body who's in charge. But if there's any governing body, they should be able to censor some of these things, you know. Or if there's a national association that can censor things like that, to go a long way to help. Yeah.
Okay, so what are your projections?
Nothing has changed. My primary assignment is still my primary assignment, and the music is just only to help me to achieve my purpose. Yeah. So projection is to continue to be a good priest, aim to be a better priest. You know, and if music is going to help me, why not? I'll bring more music to touch people wherever they are. I bring them to God. Yeah.
Okay, so we wish you well in your venture.
Thank you very much. If you have the time, if you have the time, could you check the YouTube? You go to YouTube, you see it. We have time to watch it more than just on the telly.
No worries.
But thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And may God be on your side every single time.
Amen.
Amen. And so on that note, viewers, we want to say thank you for being with us on this week's edition of Saturday Night. Until next week, be kind to one another and stay well.